Yo, what is going on? Cover One crew, welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is good. I really hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Those contests were kind of meh overall. Nothing really spectacular, but at least we still earned a lot of good point productivity on the board to get us set up for the week on a proper note. We still got Black Friday today between the Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. Got that on the Thanksgiving special start sit for y'all. But what are we talking? Boomer Bust week number 13 for the rest of the contest on Sunday and Monday. Got to get you prepared on who's going to boom, who's going to bust. It's a big week, man. Playoffs are coming that much closer, and we got to get these dubs, and I got you covered along the way. Let's start with these running backs. We got Christian McCaffrey taking on my Buffalo Bills. Big game for these San Francisco 49ers. Probably the biggest game of the season for them coming on Sunday Night Football, no question. Could have something of a weather event as well, so keep tabs on that big time because it could be a big issue. But, I mean, this is it. Playoffs are bust. They're going to bring their A game, one last kick at the can, but the biggest question mark is, will Brock Purdy suit up in this contest with that injured shoulder? We saw what happened last week with an Allen playing for San Francisco against those Green Bay Packers. Could not get anything going whatsoever, and I mean, okay, even still, CMC still got 2 boom games out of the 3 since coming back from his Achilles injury. And I mean, still, it's on the lower side of the boom games. He hasn't looked like the same player thus far. And I mean, it's very difficult coming back from an Achilles to play at the top end levels. Bills likely getting a Matt Milano back, which is huge for the defense. And if they are without Purdy, this is going to be a big problem. Still won't know until Saturday, so I'll definitely update everybody on Start Sit Saturday. But I'm calling right now, without a Brock Purdy, a bust for a CMC this week. Not good, no bueno for this offense with a Brandon Allen. Ramondre Stevenson taking on the Indianapolis Colts. And I mean, one team that really never picked up any steam this season has been those New England Patriots. But they do got some good news. Good building blocks behind a guy like Drake May behind center. And I mean, this O-line is so bad. It's so piss poor. And I mean, it keeps the run game guessing for us every single week on a weekly basis. Having a Colts defense that does play decent overall, especially versus the run. Dre is in definite dire need of a big game for the coaching staff to at least keep him on the payroll next year. There could be some, situations that if Mayo's no longer the head coach, they may look in other directions. He is definitely auditioning for next season as well. Dre's got 5 boom games out of 11 so far in the season. He did lose touches last week to a Gibson, and he's only at a topper of, 20 points so far and a floor of less than 1 point, man. He's a risk overall to trust. Seeing end zone trips this week should be something to be seen, and I do like it. Boom time for Ramondre Stevenson. He's got to find his way into the end zone, though, as Drake May plays these Indianapolis Colts. Alvin Kamara taking on the LA Rams. Okay, and one player, I mean, he's been an absolute stud all season, Mr. All Reliable, Alvin Kamara. I was huge on Alvin coming this offseason. A lot of y'all questioned it. I said, no, stick with me. It's Alvin's season, and it's been true. And I mean, coming off the bye week, still without my dude CO2, Chris Olave. I mean, the Saints' new offense rests with an Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill. And, I mean, maybe the best part for an Alvin Kamara at this point, which could make him a league winner, is the addition of MVS Valdez-Scantling, who has taken the Shaheed role to perfection at this point. He remembered how to catch in the Bayou. I don't know what the hell's going on, but he can catch footballs again. This is very good news. But, I mean, he's going to keep opposing defenses, from stacking the box on a Kamara, Taysom Hill giving that extra oomph on that, mismatch appeal. Kamara is still going to have that steady dose of heavy volume. Having 81% on the boom rate right now has been spectacular. And seeing what Saquon did to these Rams last week, we got a who dat boom for an Alvin Kamara. I'm absolutely all in it. Absolutely love Alvin this season. Nick Chubb taking on the Denver Broncos. One of the best storylines all season has been the return of Nick Chubb. Like I've been saying all offseason, though, it does take time for ACL recoveries for these players to get back into football shape. Even though they are recovered from the ACL and cleared to play ball, it takes a little bit of time. And we finally seen Chubb, after 5 games, finally hit that boom, seeing that breakout last week to the tune of, 18.5 points, which was very good. Couple end zone trips for him last week. He's got a very tough matchup versus these Broncos, who we now know are in the playoff hunt with Bo Nix. Bo knows. And, I mean, it's going to come down to Nick, really. I mean, are we going to play it safe this week? I think I am. I don't like the matchup whatsoever. Jameis Winston likely going to throw a lot of interceptions. And I mean, how much are they going to lean upon a Nick Chubb to try to run through this Denver defense? I'm definitely playing it safe. Bust for the 5th time out of 6 games for a Nick Chubb. He will see better days, no question. Wide receivers, T. Higgins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I mean, going back to this offseason, I warned y'all about Higgins and that ADP being far too rich for my blood. Big time, too much of a risk to take. But if we got him lower down the board, it was acceptable at the price tag that it could still bear fruit. Even though the issues continue for A.T. Higgins this year, it was, the injuries, the lack of overall effort, due in part, in my opinion, to the no long-term contract. Playing on that franchise tag, these guys want to get paid, and the Bengals, the ownership clearly does not pay their studs outside of a Joey B. Chase still looking for his deal as well. And yes, I am convinced these are the major issues right now for T's. Doing some business decisions because he's going to get paid on the open market somewhere. But he is coming off his best showing of the season before they went into the bye week. 25-plus points for a T. Higgins. His current boom rate sits at 67% in his 6 games played, which is not terrible. So when he is playing, he is at least giving us the point totals that we require and having a huge AFC North showdown. He's going to have to be leaned upon, make plays, because you got to believe those Steelers are going to try to double up a Chase. I do like some T to keep the playoff hopes alive in Cincinnati. Boom, off the bye for a T. Higgins. Brian Thomas Jr. taking on these Houston Texans. Okay, we got some good news, some bad news for the Jags as we enter this Week 13. Trevor Lawrence, he's back to throwing and could suit up this week, which is the good part, but risk to re-injury is a very big possibility on that AC joint where he's going to be throwing the football. We'll see. They could even shut this man down. Lots of rumors going down about a Trevor Lawrence, but I mean, Brian Thomas Jr., he's been a freak this season, racking up, 125 points, showing that he is the true alpha wide receiver in the making, coming off the bye week, in which, Coach Doug Peterson, he's lost this locker room. His job is definitely on the hot seat right now. He will be relieved of his duties very soon, if not at the end of the season. He's not going to last one more year. And, what's really left to play for this young stud, for these Jags at this point? Playing spoiler, sure, but, how much are they really going to do it? Houston really needs this win in a big way, and, they should keep, star defensive back Stingley locked up on a Brian Thomas Jr. And, if a Trevor Lawrence does not play, then this absolutely warrants it. If Trevor Lawrence does play, we can give a little bit more credence to value going up, but it's a close one for me. I'm calling a bust for a Brian Thomas Jr. once again this week. Mike Evans taking on the Carolina Panthers, and like last week I mentioned, it's great to see Big Mike back for Tampa Bay. It was absolutely phenomenal coming from his hamstring injury. Great to see that he, exited without any wounds. But what did I say? I said temper those expectations, man, especially for dudes coming off the IR. He didn't play football for 4 weeks. Got to get your football legs back up under you. He was under 10 points last week, and I said just temper those expectations. You got to come out at, extremely fast. It's not going to happen for a guy coming off injuries, but I'm telling you right now, leaving the Bucs right now to run the football like they did last week, control the clock, and then it was basically like, let's get the hell out of here with the dub. This week, however, another cupcake matchup versus Panthers, who have played better. They have been improving, but I'm telling y'all right now, they took the Chiefs to the wire, but I'm not convinced whatsoever anything that this should absolutely impact the Buccaneers. They're going to roll absolutely in a big way. Coming off that 9-point showing last week, I fully expect the return to glory for a Mike Evans. An end zone shot coming this week should be paramount, and if he doesn't get force-fed on the regular, I'm going to be very, shocked, because that 1,000-yard streak of his could be coming to an end if the Baker Mayfield does not continue to force-feed him. I'm calling a boom for a Mike Evans coming off a bust week. I do like it a lot. He should find his way back into the end zone. Justin Jefferson taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, and yes, we know. JJ, he's one of the best in the league outside of a Jamar Chase. We know this. So should we even predict a boomer bust? There's a reason why he's on my list right now, because we know we got to play a JJ. But, I mean, he's been playing the coverage decoy the last 3 weeks. Everybody else besides a JJ has been eating big time while he pulls coverage from everybody else. It makes us suffer that the prototypical, Jefferson takeover matchups have not occurred. Facing the Cards this week, they've been playing very sound defense of late. Budda Baker is all over the damn field playing like a damn madman right now. However, I mean, how long can we expect JJ not to have the breakout games that we know that he does put up? See, in the last 3, he's only earned 22.1 points in the last 3 games, where we usually see JJ get 22 points and a half. This is not good news. Whatever, we have no choice. We got to play a JJ, and I'm definitely calling the bounce back versus the Cards this week. Boom! For a Jettus, he's got to get us the goods because playoffs are coming. We need the dubs, and we need a big win from Justin Jefferson. Tight ends, Chig Okonkwo taking on the Washington Commanders, the Commies. Times are tough when we're looking at an Okonkwo at the position. And, I mean, some already have asked, can we play an Okonkwo after he had his monster, 70-yard gallop TD? Let me be clear. I mean, he's loaded with skill, speed, ability. He's a very good quality tight end, but the Tennessee Titans just refuse to utilize this man, and it truly is a head-scratcher on why they don't give this man at least 4 to 5 targets per game and see what he can do. Facing those Commies, there's no way in hell we can trust anything coming from an Okonkwo. That's why I got him on the board. A lot of people were saying, can we trust Okonkwo now? I said, no, we cannot. He is such an important week. We cannot trust the player who does not see targets galore. So it's a bust for an Okonkwo coming off a very good long touchdown scored last week. Pat Freiermuth, the Moot, taking on those Cincinnati Bengals, and the most astonishing stat for the Muth, he only holds 18% on the boom rate. Absolutely ridiculous. What the hell are you doing, Pittsburgh? I still don't understand. I mean, there's no room in sight to believe even a bigger part of his role is going to expand anytime soon in this offense right now. It's truly baffling. He should be the second best pass catcher on this team right now behind a George Pickens. But, I mean, Russ is moving the offense enough to win games, enough to compete. And, I mean, this week versus the Bengals in a huge divisional showdown, we should see all hands on deck trying to end their playoff hopes. Lots of ball control, lots of clock control, lots of Russell Wilson not giving up the football. I'm not convinced the heaping of targets is going to be coming his way, but a TD should be on the horizon. I'm going to go on a limb here and say boom for the Muth in a big AFC North divisional showdown. Dallas Goedert taking on these Baltimore Ravens. Okay, last week, I was very bullish on the Eagles and Dallas Goedert because of a Smitty. He was out last week. Did not work. He was dealing with that hamstring injury. They did not go to him as much as I had anticipated. Barkley stole the show, leaving Hurts to be, the more, spectacular over the board Barkley show that we know. I mean, and Hurts didn't even have to spread the ball around whatsoever. This week, I mean, we get a massive game versus these Baltimore Ravens, which could keep him in the league, in the talk again, for a Dallas Goedert to keep at least his stat values up this week. Having Barks, A.J. Brown, grown-ass man. I mean, it is the 1-2 punch. Smitty likely could be sitting once again this week with a hamstring injury. Dallas Goedert should be that third option behind the Barkley, behind an A.J. Brown, and he should be exploited that much more. The Ravens' defense in the pass game has been quite poor overall this season, and they can be exploited. Dallas Goedert should see his role increase so long as Smitty is out once again. The Ravens defense, like I'm saying, they've seen better days, and I do like the play of a Dallas Goedert. Fly Eagles fly on the boom for a Goddard. I'm definitely betting on it once again this week. Last one, Kyle Pitts versus the Los Angeles Chargers. And one thing about the Falcons, I mean, we don't really know what they are. I mean, truly, do we know what series they are at this point? Winning some contests, then they show this beast mentality, and then they fail the following week. But I'm telling y'all right now, it's been the best start for Pitts since his rookie season. I mean, his rookie season was definitely paramount to what we thought he was going to be, but he definitely has faded. Pitts has over the last 3 weeks before going into the bye week, facing a Chargers team. I mean, they do play strong defense overall. I mean, he should definitely focus on taking away a Bijan, a Drake London, because they will at least pressure a Kirk Cousins that much more. This absolutely opens the door for Kyle Pitts to have a big day, man. Holding 45% on the boom rate. I would definitely like to see that hover over the 50% right now. Get more touchdown scores to feel a little bit more comfortable, but I believe good things are coming this week for the Dirty Birds as they still fly from time to time. Boom for a Mr. Kyle Pitts. I do believe an end zone trip is coming for this man. He should definitely carry us this week. But there you have it. That is Boomer Bust week number 13 post-Thanksgiving during the Black Friday contest. And then I definitely got you guys covered on Saturday for Start Sit. Busy week, but we got to get these dubs. I'm in it with y'all, man. Let's go. Playoffs are right around the corner. It is exciting, but nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. I am out.